All right, y'all. Started off right with some technical difficulties and some coughs from a dab. I'm here with Lou, a.k.a. Student 1 today.
Hello.
It is Loud Zay, your host, and we're about to do an interview. How you doing, bro?
Doing good. How are you, sir?
I'm great. I'm good.
Chilling.
It's been a long time, bro.
Bro, yeah, since fucking child daycare.
Good to have you in the studio and shit. I know this is your first time in the
Appreciate
space.
it. I didn't even know you're doing like interviews like this, so this is like raw. Like, I don't know.
We're out here, man. But yeah, so we go way back. We've been
Way back. Like unusually back. Like there's not a lot of people that like I'm still like talking to that I've known for this long, I think.
The funny thing is I actually told the story about how we hadn't seen each other since preschool. We went to child daycare or child care, or whatever they called it, down Riverside, and it was one of the first days of freshman year at South High School, and you walked up to me, and I remember this so clear as day. You walked up to me, and you're like, Isaiah? And I was like, yeah. You're like, it's Lou from Child. I was
I feel like it took you a while to like recognize who I was.
yeah, motherfucker, I can't believe you were so certain it was me.
Bro, no, like my memory is fire. I can't stress that enough. Even with like the you'd think weed would take a toll on it, but it doesn't. I don't know.
That shit was crazy, bro. Yeah, and then since then, we've been in contact. We were pretty good friends through high school. And I remember them dabs, bro.
God.
I remember that we would always tell you, because you would freestyle sometimes.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
me and Eric
Back
and
in
shit
South.
like that. And we would tell you, we were like, bro, fuck it, you should just rap. And you were like, nah.
I really was, bro. Like I couldn't see it back then, but that's because like, bro, I remember the first shit I ever wrote, and I probably shouldn't even be talking about it because it was like that bad. I think like the title of it, I don't remember the bars, but the title of it was Beat of Dedication. Bro, I feel like I went through like just a ton of I don't know, like who I was back then and like who I am now, I guess is kind of interesting to see, even though I was kind of sort of rapping back then. I don't know.
No, it's really cool though. It's a good story. I mean, it's a great story just coming from, because now that's, I mean, like, you're taking this shit seriously. You know what I'm saying? You're getting real plays. You know, you put in a lot of work. You know, you've been putting a lot of music out, and that's crazy. It's funny because we meet at this point now where both of us weren't oriented towards music per se at all, and now we're both
Just
making
in the
music, you know, and trying to indulge in the scene in Minneapolis. And how's that process been for you? You know,
It's been a trip, just cause like I don't know, like yeah, I didn't really grow up with like my family having like a huge musical background, but I don't know. Once I got into high school, I stopped like listening to music the way I was listening to it, which was just like the radio.
right? Yeah.
And I'd hear people in like the hallways of South before I knew anybody like, yo, you going to the Doomtree show? Are you going to the Atmosphere shit? And I'm just like, who are...
Yeah, see, yeah, and
Who
it
are
took me
these
even
niggas?
longer than most people. Like, a lot of people in the cities got into that, like, at a really young age.
Yeah. And then somebody put me onto like Idea, and that's when I just started like digging.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn, motherfuckers out here can really rap. That's wild.
Idea was crazy, yeah, for real. The little amount that I'm not too familiar, but
He's like top 3 for me, like forever.
yeah, for me, like, when it was the first thing that got me into underground music was just like smoke rap, you know?
Yeah.
Just wanting to fuck around and get high every day.
That's what got me onto Wiz. Like, it was like the gang and like how much we all loved Wiz, and like just all of the times like how good the times were. Anytime I was listening to Wiz, we were just all blowing in like Eric's basement, or
doing some bullshit in someone's basement or someone's property that wasn't ours.
Bro, I miss those fucking days. I can't tell you how much I mean that. Like when I moved, I was like broken for a while.
I mean, yeah, man. Ain't nothing like the city, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, let's talk about some music.
Okay, yeah. You asked me about like the process and shit like that. My bad. I just went into a badass tangent.
No. That was good. It's good.
Fucking, it's been good. Like, I feel like it was. I don't know. I just kind of like have a really recurring habit of just like getting high before I like record, and sometimes that kind of throws me off because I'll just be like, all right, do I need to get high? Like I can just do this, right? And like I don't know, so like shit like that kind of trips me up with like the process. But like aside from that, like once I get in a groove, I'll get like viciously productive and then just like work on shit. But
I feel you, man. It's really about, momentum. I always say it's hard to get into the swing, but once you're in it, it's hard to stop you.
Yeah. Like that's something I started to like think about a lot harder recently because like I am not. Alec constantly like bothers me about like how much I post on social media. Like I just don't do it. Like,
no, yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not heavy on social media, but I try to make up with that in real life experience.
Right? Yeah. And like on a personal level, like that's like you can like stop right there and make your pieces everything. And but like I don't know, like for our like career path, it would be fire if I was like adequate. I mean, not adequate, but like actively like tweeting and posting shit. But like,
you know what you gotta do,
huh?
You just gotta get someone who will do it for you.
I've had people say that,
but the thing is about that too, then you have to really trust them.
Yeah, they have to be like the homie. I can't just have like.
You can't just be anybody.
Some dude with like marketing skills.
Yeah, no, I feel you 100%.
But fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like, yeah, because like you said earlier, it's like a lot of it is like momentum, and like once you feel the ball rolling, you can kind of like just contribute to it in any way you can, as long as you're like doing whatever it is you think you need to. The ball will keep rolling. Right. And like, I kind of went on a little bit of a break this past summer, and it was just like for personal reasons. I was just like, okay, I'm just pulling way too many all-nighters, getting too fucked up. Like, I gotta chill. And that's when I was just like, damn, like I'm kind of falling off the grid. Like, I wonder what this is doing to like the momentum and shit like that. But yeah.
I mean, always on an artist's mind too is just that in the back of your head, like kind of voice is always telling you, which is more probably exterior than it is internal, but you believe it's internal, telling you that you need to be doing something all the time. Yeah. Which is also personal, like we were saying, you kind of just gotta do it when you're feeling it. It's not gonna just come to you. Yeah. When you're trying to force it out, and that's why I was actually listening to your music today. I was listening to your last tape, Upperclassmen. Yeah. And shit, where was I going with that? What were we just talking about?
We were talking about fucking. Okay, so momentum, and then. And
I might have totally just lost my train of thought. Something about momentum.
Fuck. All right.
Oh, doing things when you're feeling it, being in the swing of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was gonna relate that to in one of your songs though. But it was about doing it for money. When it becomes about a job, when it becomes like about a deadline, then it's just not. The same thing you're talking about, not wanting to be signed, Yeah. Because then it puts that pressure on you where it's not like a freedom of creation kind of thing. It's, creation for money.
Right. Yeah. It's just like when you
which is a product. It's not just an art, it can be both, Yeah. But in my opinion, that's why I feel like artists now are thriving off of being independent until the point where they can have some pull in a major label where they don't have to be taken advantage of per se. Yeah,
honestly, like when artists get into those situations, do they just like get popping enough to the point where like their popularity is just like so high that like labels will just fold for whatever like they're looking for?
I feel like I really don't know. I can't say from experience by any means, but I feel like there's a plethora of different reasons. But for the most part, I mean, I guess there's different kinds of labels. If you're an indie label, it's most likely because you just think they're talented, you fuck with them. You're not really offering them that much money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're pretty much saying like, we'll help you out as much as we can. But if you're a major label, that's a completely different scenario. They probably see you as a product, someone they think could be, productive. So yeah, I feel like for sure a lot of it must be based on popularity, because if we're talking, the numbers game, it's, more numbers, more money. You know what I'm saying? So if motherfuckers is doing numbers, why not take a chance on them? And if it falls through, they end up owing you.
That's fair. Yeah.
So like, it's for majors who have money to throw around, it must just be rolling the fucking dice and saying fuck it if they strike out.
They just got money to gamble like that. But I mean, like, I guess it's not really a gamble when there's like.
Right. Like I'm saying, it's more about just setting out a bunch of fishing lines and seeing which one catches a big fish.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about the scene here. What do you think about the scene here, being a part of that? And, like, why don't you drop a couple of names that you appreciate?
Okay, like Slug, first and foremost, I guess. I said foremost, weird. Fucking Idea, of course, rest in peace. Brother Ali, I, like, don't give that man enough credit. Like,
man, it was really good, especially with live performances.
Hell yeah.
Great presence on the stage.
I'm like really, like, attentive. And, like, he'll just be, like, spitting songs that, like, I had heard in my iPod, like, weeks before. And I'll just be like, why is this so captivating? Like,
yeah.
But, who else? Oh, I don't know if this counts because, like, I think he lives in New York. I don't fucking know. A$AP Rock, though.
Yep.
Who else? There's a lot. I don't know. Those are, like, the names that came to mind. But I like the scene here. I feel like it's starting to just grow more because, like that, even the local cats now, like Dua, Do It Like Dua,
yep,
lit. Velvet Negroni, lit.
Yep.
Dizzy Faye, goddamn, like
and yeah, skyrocketing in popularity.
Yeah, for real. And like, I don't know. Yeah, I was like put on to Dizzy Faye like kind of recently, but like. I don't know, like, just, like, people are, like, turning up in ways that I didn't expect them to, like, turn up, like, in the local scene. And it's
really cool, too. And most of them are pretty humble about what they do.
Yeah.
Very down-to-earth people. You can talk to them. Mm-hmm. It's not weird. It's not like it's not about that. Which is why it's the one thing about the scene that I really do appreciate is that most of it isn't, clout-driven.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, like, organic, I feel like.
Yeah, a lot. And what comes out of it is very refined. What comes out of that process. Because people are in it for the art of it. They're not necessarily in it for the perks.
Yeah.
Which makes, which is, again, why, we feel like the Twin Cities is such, like, a homey vibe. You know what I'm saying?
I was also going to say, like, there's something that's, like, really competitive about the scenes in, like, Atlanta and like the West Coast and like New York, and I feel like that's something that like this scene is missing. Like there's sure. Like there's like a certain just like it just seems more cutthroat in different coasts and like
I just feel like it hasn't grown to that point yet. But I feel like some of the names that you mentioned, we're creating more and more of an identity here.
Yeah.
With our sound. That was different from, because Minneapolis had an identity, like in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And shit like that, which is just, it's still prominent in the sound we hear today throughout the city. And, people have picked up on that. And, well, there's always going to be, shit that sounds like Prince. There's always going to be, production like that and things that are going to radiate from that forever. So now that we're moving to this next stage, I feel like this is just kind of like a new era that we're coming into which who knows? It could be really, really huge. It might not be, but what we do know is that there's some really good shit coming out of it.
Yeah, and, like people are turning heads already.
And
like,
you, man, fucking.
Hey,
I was just talking to. I was listening. Like I said, I was listening to pretty much all your music from 2019. I went and revisited that today, and the way that you can maneuver fucking beats, dude, is ridiculous. You're like one of the most versatile, artists I've heard in a long time.
I appreciate that, dude. Thank
Which
you.
is saying, just from a point of what we were saying before, it hasn't been that long. It's been a while, but like it's a great evolution. So there's gonna be a lot of great shit to come from that, I believe. And
I appreciate that,
man. Crazy talented. So don't
Thank
sell
you.
yourself short on that. But yeah, let's talk about your last project.
Oh, Upperclassmen?
Yeah.
That's like, I feel like a break was like necessary after that project, just because.
What was the exact date it dropped?
I don't think it hit streaming services on January 1st, but I meant for it to come out on January 1st.
For sure.
And I think it just came around somewhere around there.
For sure.
And I think I like started out with the idea because I just thought it was kind of like, I thought it was kind of clever because I have, I don't know, I have a history with like Adderall.
Yeah.
And like I talk about it a little bit, like very, very subtly, like on the tape. I mean, sometimes it's explicit, but like I don't just.
Right.
I don't just start a verse like, guess what I like?
Which is another thing too, man. Like your wordplay and the way that I feel like you can you never run out of something to say.
Yeah.
And it's very cohesive, which is hard to do, especially because you, for the most part, rap double time.
Yeah.
So you're putting a lot of fucking words in that shit. Most of the time,
I'm starting to like notice that. I don't know. I'm trying to find like different avenues of like. Just flows and like how to like swing over a beat, and like I feel like how I have like just like grown and learned to like rap, it's made it hard for me to like just slow down on a beat and just like hit a slow flow. Like that shit's like nerve-wracking. I'm just like, this could sound what?
It's like, yeah, I mean, because you're kind of switching it up. When you do that, it's more focused on how it sounds. You know? Because you can only say so much, and you got to pick very punctual words. I always talk about Travis Scott being so good at that. And like, people can say what they want about him, but he has a vision for every single song, and whatever he's trying to convey comes across, even when it sounds ridiculous. But I feel like you have a similar effect in the way that the way you rap, your words are very clear in comparison to a lot of other rappers. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to decipher what you're saying, which you just kind of take in it. The way you present it, you can take in so much information from your tracks, which makes it really interesting to listen to, because you don't want to like not get the big picture. Yeah. Which is really cool.
I also like. It's interesting that you say that because like that's one of the things that like has drawn me to a couple of like the new people that I've been listening to, like. Not new people. I guess they've like been in the game for like, just like they've been on the radar for like a year or two now. Like, I don't know if this person's probably been on the radar for way longer than that. But I've been getting into Young Nudie, and like I think I started listening to Slimeball like 3 or some shit. Like the song Zone 6.
Yep.
And fucking ABM, like he's just like, I don't know what his method is, but it sounds like he's punching in like. And he's just like, on ABM, just like, I'm all about getting my money. And like, I don't know, just like the way he says shit, it sounds like he could be saying like one or two things, like just, like little double entendres in each line.
Right.
And I feel like it's cool. It's tight to like rap clearly and just like cogently, but like when people like Nudie do that, or when Cardi raps, like, bro, he, like, I don't even know where to begin with that, man. But, like, fucking, he has a song called Flatbed Freestyle, and, like, literally every line in that song just, like, it sounds like he's saying, like, 4 different things. Like, Cardi's crazy at it. But, like, I don't know where I was going with. Oh, yeah, no, like, that's just, like, because I don't rap like that, that shit's, like, so interesting to me. And, like, I try to implement that in like my music, but it's like it's hard because I don't have like, you know, like their accents to like try and do it like them, and like I'm not even trying to bite them.
Exactly, yeah.
But like I'll like write shit in like a really weird way. Like sometimes I'll just say fuck grammar, and I'll just be like, all right, people will just see this like series of words in this line,
right,
and like they'll have an image in their head, and that's probably like what I'm talking about. Like,
right.
But like yeah, and when I do say like okay, like I'm not even gonna think about grammar now, like it kind of gives me like the ability to like just like come up with a line, but like just like switch a couple words around so it like could mean two different things depending on how you read it.
Yeah,
like,
that's tight.
And I don't know. I just do that because it's like if I get good enough at it, like I could probably just like sprinkle little secret messages in my music eventually. Like I don't know. Like I don't know, bro. I just think it's a cool skill to have. Like I think I don't know.
I feel it. Well, yeah. What is so what do you think? Like, how did it feel? How does it feel to have songs with people like Mick Jenkins and Tierra Whack on your album?
Still wild. Like I still haven't talked to Mick since I sent him the song idea, and I think he just like there was like oh yeah, that's the reason Upperclassmen didn't come out on the first, because I was
gonna ask about that because I remember Alex said something about uploading it, and then had to get cleared further because of the features.
Yeah, and I don't know why, because we already had Yin Yang out as like a single, so it was like that already says featuring Tierra Whack, and then Mick sent us his shit, and then we like turned the tape in, and then DistroKid's like, yeah, so you say you got Tierra Whack and Mick Jenkins on your tape? I've never heard of you, bro. Like, that's basically how it felt, and like I was just like, okay, well, we just need to get verification from both of them again.
Yeah, that's annoying, but hey, it came out.
It came out.
And both those songs are fire.
Yeah, bro, like I'm surprised they were like fucking with the ideas like as much as I was. I thought it was just gonna be like, just because at the time I was pretty unfamiliar with just like how to go about like features, and like I had an idea for songs, but like I didn't know if I was just like, oh, I got an idea for a song, like. But I think the Tierra was the first collab that I did out of the two, and she was just like, yeah, what's the idea? And I was like, oh, you want to? Okay, like,
yeah.
I thought we were just gonna spit verses on a beat, but like,
that's what's up.
Yeah. Shout out to Tierra, by the way. And then I hit up Mick and I told him like the idea, and he was just like, hell yeah, sounds dope. I'll get you a verse like as soon as possible. And I was just like, concise, showed love.
That
like,
must have been a great feeling, man.
Yeah, like that one I was like, yeah, I was losing because like I spent a lot of time with The Waters by Mick Jenkins.
Yeah, great tape.
And Trees and Truths, I think it's
Yep.
called. Yeah, that shit was fire.
Yep. Well, yeah, man, that's fucking tight. Also, like I was saying about that versatility, remind me of that song. That song that you did the guitar, the first song that, remind me the name of the first song that there was a guitar in that you did some shit over. You were singing.
Wasting Away with 88
Wasting
Keys.
Away. Dude, that was, whew.
You fucked with that?
That was
tight. Nice.
Dude, I love that shit. I mean, like you were saying that you didn't grow up with much musical influence, but I grew up around, like my dad's a singer-songwriter. I used to go to the folk festival every year. So I grew up around, guitars a lot. So I always, it's one of those instruments for me that I just always feel really deeply.
Hell yeah.
And,
same.
When you can just, even at that point when it's so simple, it's just a guitar and a voice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the best combinations, I feel like, vibrationally in the world.
That, like, those recordings, like, all those recordings with, like, guitars, like, acoustic guitars, are of, like, me and my my homie Lucas. Oh, with the exception of the interlude in Upperclassmen, that was Let Mode.
Yep.
Shout out Corey. But yeah, me and my dude Lucas would just, like, him and I were both, like, just nocturnal. We were just owls. And, like, he'd be like, "You want to just like freestyle over some like shit while I play guitar?" And I was just like, "Yeah, sure." "Do you mind if I record?" And he was like, "No, fuck it." And the first day we did this, we got like an hour's worth of material, and like I was just like,
So did you just trim it down, or do you still have it?
I still have like all of the recordings, like.
So you got more.
Yeah, and like anytime we do these like little acoustic sessions, we make 1+ songs a day, like
wow,
every session, like because it's like when I'm rapping, I'm thinking way more about bars and just trying to find those like wee little pockets to just like like
yeah.
But like with that shit, I'm in a totally different realm. Like,
right? Yeah. No. How do you maneuver that? Do you feel like you're comfortable in it?
Yeah, dude, like unusually comfortable because like I don't know, we'll like smoke, fucking like I'll pop an Adderall from time to time before we do it, and like that helps. But like even off it, like I don't know, it's just because I'm just freestyling, so I don't have anything to like rehearse, so I'm just going in there and I'm just like, how am I feeling, and like. Just like, and I'll just like vibe out first. Like a lot of the recordings like start out with me just like humming melodies over whatever he's playing, and then I'll just tell him to like keep playing that same progression, and then I'll just freestyle something, and then if we have it recorded, then, but yeah, and then the last song on Upperclassmen, he was also guitaring, and we were both off shrooms that night. Yeah, and
nice.
Yeah,
solid.
And like I don't know, that's like a 4-minute recording that we like cut down because it was just like I don't want a 4-minute outro, but like the ending was just like the tightest part because like we were both tripping, we were both acting weird. Like I remember talking to him, we were both definitely in our own little worlds, but like when we were playing, it was just entirely different. And like he was playing that like dun dun dun, and I was just humming shit, and he was like strumming really slow, and I was just like humming really slow, and then we're just starting to pick it up. Like, I don't know. Have you heard the last track?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it was just like I don't know. The way it ended was just like none of what we were doing with like the humming and shit was like communicated. Like we didn't talk about it. We were just like in sync, and
it comes more naturally. It comes more naturally than you would think it does. Which is funny because I just had an experience recently. I just had my first jam session where I was just drunk with some people I had no clue who they were at the time.
Oh shit!
And they had like a setup downstairs, so I went to my coworker's party. Shout out to Laura, and they had like a band playing, but then everyone just kind of dissipated into a jam sesh, and then I just started singing some bullshit. And it was fun, and I got to meet some musicians, which is something I always wanted to be a part of a band. So, hey, let's do some. Let's get it, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm down.
Let's do that shit. But yeah, man. I mean, I totally feel you on that level, though. It's different, and it's like when you're with another musician and you play off of each other.
Yeah,
it's like a synergy.
I feel like I'm never in like I don't collab with like people like that very often. Like I'll freestyle with other people that can freestyle. You know what I mean? Like we'll just like rap over a beat, but like he can freestyle. He plays guitar like how I freestyle. Like he'll just play something because he can. You know?
It's like so. Not being able to comprehend that, you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, so you're keeping up. I'm gonna start freestyling.
Yeah, and that's love organically.
On God, yeah, like
you know what I'm saying. So what's in store? What's in store for the next shit, man?
Right now, I'm working on 2 separate projects. One of them is a collaborative EP with my homie Corey, aka Let Mode. Shout out Let Mode. We're calling it Off the Dust because this man Corey, I think it's just I don't know, like he's like weird like I am. Like we'll just say like absurd shit, and like I think Off the Dust was just a phrase that caught on that we just like say like when somebody was either acting crazy or just tweaking out about something, just like, bro, you're off the dust. And like he's also he's also a phenomenal producer, and we both had this idea of just like making just the most just high octane, just like bangers left and right. Like, we can do it because he can make those beats and I can rap over them. And like, we were just like, all right, let's just try and make a crazy ass tape. That's probably coming out in like early 2020 though.
Okay.
But
that's soon enough.
Yeah.
It's only a couple months, brother.
And
so, continue.
Then I have another EP called Truant that I'm probably gonna drop either like before Off the Dust or like just shortly after. But that's probably gonna be like a 4-track EP of just solo shits that I've just been working on and sitting on for a minute. I have a swing song, like a bro, it's sick. I can't wait to fucking drop it.
That's tight. I mean, yeah, man. Like I was saying before, it's cool to hear because it sounds like you challenge yourself, you know, with your projects. And I just appreciate that when, you know, someone's just stepping in, like you were saying, stepping into a realm that you're not necessarily familiar with,
yeah,
but you feel comfortable in. But to know you have to try. And I feel like you've been successful across the board, you know, like we were talking about going from, you know, even though that you're not necessarily, that's not what you lean towards, you know, doing songs that are slower, having a slower flow. But then, you know, you don't revert back to, you know, something that's more what you have produced, you know, come to be your sound.
Yeah.
And it sounds great. You know what I'm saying? And you can just float in and out of that from, you know, going to your guitar stuff. So, man, check this guy out. We probably about to wrap it up for the day.
Yee.
You know, this was fun. Shout out Kai on the cameras.
Shout out Kai for the one time.
And we're gonna hear some
on the cameras.
We're gonna hear some. I'm gonna have him give us some unreleased shit for this upcoming Live from the Lounge episode that we are gonna get back up and running now that we have a new platform. So tune in for that. And we out again. Thanks, Lou. Thank
Anytime.
you, Student
Thank you
One.
for having me.
You know,
Appreciate it.
You shall hopefully hear more collaborations on multiple things from some of us in the near future.
On God.
All right. Have a good one, y'all. We out.
Peace. They call me the pack. Aerodynamic for ducking. She call me the crack. I said call me bricks, I move like work. Get up on my back, get up on my turf. If you need me, find me by them profits. I'll do not disturb. Live from the bando, serving them ears like Van Gogh. Dirty boy move game then though. PS2 ratchet, I'm going commando. Goofied up and I'm out of my mode. No L's, but I'm still on the road. Burning holes in my pockets higher than a pilot waiting for the next episode. Still beanbag boy. I see more like new lens. Scribbling different, got new pens. I don't really want no new friends. I want a pocket of blue bands. I want a crib in a remote place. Replace bone backwoods with the back end. I already feel like I'm a C-note case. Bitch, I'm bang, loose like leaf. In and out, bitch, I'm brief. If I want talk, stupid to chalk around yo catalog. Bitch, I'm grief. Losing 40, hands on Beyblade on my clock. I'm the thief. Look at me TikTok killing. I feel like I've been a villain. And I still get money coming no matter the many a habit I'm still in. I told my mom I don't need school right now. I got degrees on my notebook, I'm chilling. I'm gonna be frank, no holding me back. I know God gave me what I can handle, huh? You say I gotta calm down on my needs when you're an addict to the ramble, huh? Wait for the fuck up and scramble, huh? See these jokers and I dash. Sneaky toker till I cash. Chief all another scholar go from mighty to mediocre in a flash. I always knew you were trash. Home is where you gotta stay. I don't know what else to say. Get the fuck out of my way. They call me the pack. Aerodynamic for ducking. She call me the crack. I said call me bricks, I move like work. Fuck on my bag, get up on my turf. If you need me, find me by them profits, else do not disturb. They call me the pack. Aerodynamic for ducking. She call me the crack. I said call me bricks, I move like work. Get up off my bag, get up off my turf. If you need me, find me by them profits, else do not disturb. Huh.